White privilege is a myth and a lie and should be completely destroyed. It's rooted in racism.
White privilege is a myth and a lie. You sound extremely confident in that statement, Charlie, but how much thought did you actually put into that? Did you research it at all? Zero? That statement is easily disproved. So why don't you sit down, Charlie, and listen. I'll explain what privilege is and why you're wrong, and how your approach to the question is anti-Christian. And notice how confident you are in your complete arrogance and zero research into the topic of white privilege. And now it is the burden of people of color to prove you wrong. That is already one example of white privilege. Let's start with the Bible. What would you say if someone changed the Ten Commandments, or they wanted to edit Revelation or the Garden of Eden story? That would be blasphemous. Now, how is changing the color of Jesus' skin not equal to that? It is. It's equal to that level of evil. Now, who could get away with such a crime against Christianity? Those with white skin. Now, who decided they know better than God? And that God made a mistake. Jesus was actually white, not meant to be Middle Eastern with brown skin. If God wanted Jesus to be white, Jesus would be born in Norway. And do you not realize the Garden of Eden warnings with the tree of knowledge of good and evil? You think it doesn't apply to white people? What did they use that knowledge for? They used that knowledge of the new world and advancements in weapons of war to then enslave people worldwide. People like Elon Musk, you love to claim, well, other races did racism as well. That's true, but they didn't use technology to spread it worldwide. That's the difference. Now do you understand Garden of Eden a little bit better? And then build a society with racial hierarchy that glorifies white skin over being human. Did any white person create the human species? Yet see the acts of evil they commit. See how little you actually thought about white privilege? I don't believe you're a Christian. No Christian would default to hate and division over understanding. Why don't you take a seat, Charlie? It's my turn to talk. Let me educate you and TPUSA, all other Americans, on what white privilege is and how immoral your actions are in your speech. You're closer to a wolf in sheep's clothing than an actual shepherd. You should not ever claim to speak on behalf of God or any of his teachings while spreading messages of hate. Stay tuned for the next video on the reality of white privilege.